So Burning Man is it's probably be defined as like a large art festival in the desert. Um, yeah, that's how it'd be defined simply, but it's a lot deeper than that. Burning Man for me is, and for a lot of people, is has become a spiritual experience, like visiting Mecca. It's something I feel like I need to do every year. I actually missed last year for the first time in 7 years, and I really, really missed it. I thought I really don't want to miss this again. Burning Man is so crazy that there is nothing else like it in the world. It is so insane, and there's no way to capture that. I've never seen it on film. You know, I think photographs capture it better than video, but there is nothing to capture the craziness of a warm night with techno music blaring. You know, the pounding of these you know, thousand watt sound systems going boom, 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 boom across the desert in the middle of the night, and just walking around and seeing the craziest shit you've ever seen, like an cast iron tree house that's got a steam engine in it with whistles on it that you can actually climb up into, and the warmth of the night and that techno sound and the steam coming out that's blowing, you know, steam condenses and there's this mist blowing through the air, and these weird like train whistle sounds and you know, and techno and a swing on this iron tree that's in the middle of this desert. It's just, and all kinds of weird art. There's so much creativity there. It just blows me away. So yeah, as I said, I've been to Burning Man 7 years in a row, and what keeps me going back is that community. And some of these people come from all over the world and all over the country mostly, but also all over the world, and that's the only place I'll see them. I have a tight family. A lot of them are from Marin. I call them family because they feel like family to me as much as my family does. I trust them with my life. And a lot of times we hardly go out to see all the art at all because we're so happy that we have a chance to be together, that we just like hang out in our own camp. There actually is a lot of hard parts about Burning Man, believe it or not, but it's worth it. The hardest part is getting all your shit out there. If you're building a village or even a large camp where you're expecting people to come, it's very stressful to get everything ready, to build structure. We have a large village at Burning Man that we have run in the past at Burning Man. We may never do it again, actually, because it's so much work. But is the amount of energy that's used to drive out there, the gasoline that's used, and all the energy and put in the money is huge. And but for a spiritual rejuvenation, to me, that's worth it. The dust storms are very hard, especially if they're long, but that's part of the craziness of it. Keeping clean is an issue with all that dust. These water trucks drive by and everybody yells, "Water truck," and you just take off all your clothes and go running after this truck. You know, I've said before, it's almost like a third world country. You know, all these people running after this truck. You know, it's kind of cool. Only it's happy situation. So somebody had built this huge lamp that was laying out in the desert on its side with a chain on it and a piece of ceiling. So it looked as if this lamp had broken free from the sky and fallen down on the playa. And it's kind of even hard to describe how trippy that was and weird. Another great thing is and every year this is here, is that there's a Thunderdome, just like from Mad Max and Beyond the Thunderdome, and people use foam swords and they beat the crap out of each other, and people climb up on it and they go, yeah, kill him, and that's really fun and crazy, always fun to watch. And there's like this death metal camp that runs it. There's a lot of death metal people there, totally like would maybe be described as the opposite of me, or like not my because I generally class with like hippies and stuff, and we get along, and it's totally awesome. I love that. There's these definitely different cultural types of people getting along. So what's cool? Another cool thing about Burning Man is you get there on day one, and it's kind of small. People tends to get bigger and bigger and bigger as the week goes on. So it gets crazier and crazier and crazier, and it builds up to this massive thing on Saturday night where they burn the man, and it's just nuts, out of control, techno music. Everyone's on the playa, and people are yelling like, "Burn the man! Burn the man!" And so it's sort of this apex of just craziness. Oh, I want to mention something important here. They're now doing something called the temple burn, which is just about as big in size generally as the man. But then on the night of the temple burn, and the temple is it's a building that's set up for people who have lost loved ones and animals or whatever, have thrown in pictures of these people or things even of themselves that they want to get rid of. It's definitely a spiritual thing. And in the temple burn is the art cars are required to turn their music off. So it's usually very quiet. And we're talking about maybe 20,000 people in silence watching this burn. And that is a trip, because to see that many people and have them be silent as something burns it's very, that's a spiritual thing and a very beautiful thing. Oh, by the way, it's not about drugs. Everybody thinks, oh, Burning Man, it's all about doing drugs. It's not about drugs. I'm not saying they're not done there, but that's not what Burning Man's about. So if you're going out there for drugs, don't do it. But it is a hell of a party.
His name was Paul Addis. His name was Paul Addis. His name